Hello, hello, hello. This is the Diamond Lounge, and you are here with me, Donnie C,
Your boy Scrap.
and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up our little series we're doing on Black faces. And this one today, we're talking about basically family affair, the family dynamic in the household, the Black household. So, with that being said, because I feel like let's just bring it all full circle, and that's where, to me, the bulk of our differences, our grievances, our strikes, whatever. I feel like that's where it stems from and lies in the family. What do you think?
Yeah. Stems and lies in the
You
family.
get on my nerves. So, I mean, okay. So, what's your opinion on that? When you say yeah,
Why y'all want to call me out first? You know you gotta start everything off.
because I be trying to give you a chance to lead.
You the talker. I'm the bullshitter.
Let's get it straight. I am the communicator.
Yeah, you the communicator.
That means I listen as well as
I'm
speak.
and I'm the bullshit. So I need you to start off this conversation.
All right.
It was something else I wanted to say, but I couldn't think of
I
the
know.
actual word.
You trying to go there? Stop yourself. Okay, so basically, in the how are you commenting and you're on here?
Man, I'm talented, baby. I'm talented. You know what I'm saying? I'm everywhere. I'm here. I'm there.
Okay,
You know what
I'm
I'm
not
saying?
to play with you.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, so in the Black household, I don't want to say. Well, I am. Yeah, historically, I wasn't gonna say historically because I was like, we had a good era where it was a unit. It was unity, a mother, father in the household at the same time. But I actually will say historically in America, we have been separated and disenfranchised, in our household because of the effects of slavery and of course the fact that they wanted it that way and they kept us separated. And if anyone out there paid attention to or follows our Facebook page or Instagram page, we commented. I made a post of a section of the Willie Lynch letter for people where it's basically talking about how to break.
Down to black people.
And the reason why I posted it and was because a lot of times people want to say, and even we've talked about it even on the show, how the government is a main cause of the breakdown because of what they did in the 80s and with all the drugs and putting our people in jail for whatever. The same reason that they're trying to fight to keep people out of jail for now. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But when you really go back to that letter, it shows you that no. I mean, I guess you could say the government technically because it was the white people.
They was the government.
So,
Then.
but it goes way back to the thing. This man spoke on how to break up this family, the black household, and have the effects that we are seeing and talking about today.
So you think that's why it's always a lot of black on black crime?
I feel like it just has a lot to do with it for as far as us here in America. I mean, unfortunately, black people, we have faced so many obstacles, even all the way back to Africa. Because Africa is a colonized, continent. It's not just all run by, native Africans or whatever. So we always have that struggle. But now I just want to just kind of focus on the struggle within here in America.
Cause when I read that you had posted, and then the first thing I thought about it, I'm like, damn, that's why we hate each other so much.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, because that was the purpose. I mean, I have that if you want. It's not even a long book. I have if you want it. But the whole purpose of that letter was to teach the slave owners how to control our minds to the point where for centuries down the road, we are still fighting. Mm-hmm. For centuries down the road, the men and women are not getting along. They can't raise, they can't have a household, together. The women are trying to play the men's role, and the men are trying to, are playing the women's role, even if it's subconscious and they don't realize it. And then in that same subconscious way, the women are raising their daughters to be just like them, mm-hmm. and calling the boys to be opposite of what basically their God intended nature was supposed to be. Yeah. So it's just it's very interesting, and that's why I said you have to know your history. You have to be knowledgeable about it, and it's something that is on you. You can't depend on schools to educate you because they're not. I mean, did you ever hear about Willie Lynch?
No, because that's why. Ever since we started on these topics, that's why I be listening more than speaking, because I'm like I said, I be learning, because there's a lot of things that I ain't learned in school, or that we even cared about
To
in
know.
my, I guess in my where I'm at, what I'm saying, nobody didn't care about talking about that and bringing those different topics up.
That's cool.
So that's why when I'm listening, I'm like, damn, this shit deep,
And that's the point, though. And, because my purpose for talking about this is to just get one. I mean, even if it's just one person, hopefully it's more. But just to get one person to at least start thinking about, why do you hate your skin so much? Why do you think this is better? Why do you feel like it's so hard to get along with your brother, your sister, the black man? Like why? Just think about where all that stems from. When you ask why, black women like this and these other women like that, think about that all stem from something. Conditioning takes years to happen, but the effects of it can last a lifetime if it's not checked, if it's not thoroughly and purposely checked. And I feel like we have to get to that point now where we are purposely checking ourselves and that conditioning that started centuries ago.
Yeah.
So that we can break those chains.
Yeah, so that's why it's good to have people that's intelligent in those areas, I guess, or that more knowledgeable in those areas, so they can talk, speak to people about that like people like me, that like it wasn't a care in the world about the Willie Lynch and the Jim Crow law.
But even with that, you still have to have it in you to even want to know more about it.
Yeah, but it takes a certain situation to happen, or discussion to happen, for you to even, cause you ain't gonna just go be like, hey, they teach me about this right here. Tell me about this right here. You gotta be something to go on to make you wanna learn more about that. You get what I'm saying? Because even when I don't know, you remember the conversation we had. This when the Black Lives Matter came about, and I wasn't really full. Cause I was like, shit, why Black Lives? I said, man, you mean all lives matter?
Oh, you mean like a conversation we had, like privately?
Yeah, and it was a while back that talking about Black
One
Lives
of those
Matter.
conversations our feelings didn't want us having.
And then I said, nah, all lives matter. And then you said, no, you missing the point. And then you had broke it down to me to make me understand. And so, and then I'm like, oh, shit. But it took us to have a conversation for me to even know. Other than that, I've been one of those ones, been like, man,
shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's not talk about that. Well, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, because yes, all lives matter, people. We know that. We're very much aware of that. But until you act like all lives matter, including the Black lives, which is what that means, then you can't even say all lives matter, because you're being, you're lying to yourself. If all lives matter, show us that Black lives matter. They get the same treatment as the white people. They get the same treatment. Show us that the Hispanic lives, the brown lives. If all lives matter, treat it that way. But until you do, Black Lives Matter is just a reminder and telling you that it needs to be evident in your actions and in your walk and in your talk that our lives matter as well. So, with that being said, our families matter as well, and we need to do better in bringing them up and unifying them. We need to start coming together as a force to say, hey, y'all, let's make this work. Let's get to the bottom of where we're why we're bickering or whatever, our strife, and say, how can we change that? Because one of the things I used to always teach or talk about to people, I'm about to say my profession, but is that you don't want to. It's a shame if you continue to allow yourself to be someone else's puppet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what I mean by that is, if you let people control your emotions, if you let people control, your destiny, your outcome, or whatever, you are being their puppet. So when you know better, or if you choose to just sit there and be like, oh, whatever, it just is what it is, I'm gonna just go with the flow, you're being someone else's puppet. stop doing it. You know,
Yeah.
like start thinking for yourself, start being better for yourself, and those after you, as well as those in your community. I'm sorry, as well as those in your community.
Physical abuse. See,
See, that's why I need you
black
close.
on black crime. That hurt me over here.
So without family dynamics or family affairs, you know, what would y'all say? I mean, I wish I had more audience participation as far as what do y'all think is the reason why, you know, our black families are breaking up, so, you know, or can't even get together for the most part.
Man, that's because, like I said, like people don't really not talk it out because everybody think they're right. So instead of being a bigger person admitting you wrong, they just be like, you know, I just not even say nothing. Oh, they probably just don't even. Some people don't even know that they wrong. You know, and they just thinking they like nah. Even when people be telling like, nah, man, you wrong for doing what you're doing, or you wrong for saying it, or you wrong for the way you treating your, you know what I'm saying, your whoever. They blind to the fact. And so.
But could they be blind to it because they've never seen different? Like
Not, some of these people stubbornness.
And,
They don't want to see things their way, and that's it.
but even with that, is that not because they've grown up in seeing it only this way?
Yeah, that could be.
Like, I mean, because
That could be that way too. You know, you only seeing it one way, and so that's just your mind state is
yeah,
one
when
way
you
instead of.
if you always see men dogged out your mama, or you know whatever, she didn't stay with anybody, no one loved her, and or your aunties or your grandma or you know your friends' parents. If that's all you ever saw, it makes it very hard to change your idea and your narrative that hey, you know what. It can be different. It doesn't have to be like that. Men are all like that. Women don't have to be like that. My mama could have, you know, maybe approached something differently or said something differently or handled something different. Like, it makes it, if you don't ever see a different, you know, representation,
Yeah.
you are going to get stuck in that mind frame of this is how it always is and this is how it's going to be. And you know,
Cause then that goes to like the 2-parent household or single parent household. That all right, if you grew up both of your parents 9 times out of 10, you grew up with that mind state of having both parents together, you know, and then you grew up in a single parent household, or even if you grew up with grandmother and all that, you grew up with the mind state of cares about relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody don't care about, you know what I'm saying? We're fine.
someone said they agree with you. Nobody wants to own up to their faults. And then someone else said, we do know better and choose to follow in the footsteps because that's what we are constantly looking at.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, let's change that for each other. Let's change that for our future.
See, that's what I said. That's why it takes you got to be willing to want to talk first and then listen instead of talking, trying to prove your point. Talk with an understanding. You get what I'm saying?
But you also have to value having a family unit anyway, right? I mean, part of the reason why people are so quick and easy to give up and walk away and not admit their faults is because we don't value family. You know, it's not seen because you grew up seeing, well, they made it and this person made it and I made it. And, you know, like, it makes it hard to value that family unit. So
So it's like, oh, I ain't need the family to do it. So
yeah, I didn't come from a family, so who needs it? You know, I'll leave, whatever. As opposed to, no, let's keep this together and work it out. You know, and I don't mean I don't mean in a dysfunctional way. You know, I'm not talking about that dysfunctional, beating you down, breaking you down kind of way. I mean in a, you know, we bickering and having disagreements about just small things, or we bickering and having disagreements on things that we could actually figure out if we just sat down and talked to each other. You know, we could figure out this money situation if we sat down and talked to each other. If we sat down and said, hey, let's start planning family financial meetings, you know, between you and your husband, so we can work that out. And then let's bring the kids into it later on, so they can also start learning about finances in the household. You know, let's start having, let's start planning. Let's pray. Let's make sure first of all we're praying over each other. You know, let's start that. Things can be worked out if you want to have a solution. If that's where your mindset is that, you know what, we're gonna stay together. But if you have that mindset that no matter what, we're gonna walk away and leave it alone. As soon as it gets hard, that's what you're gonna do.
you're saying fuck it.
you know. And so it is that perspective. Thank you. Having that, you know, someone, you have to change it. And that's what I want us to change. That was the whole purpose of this series, is to start changing our perspective and how we see each other, how Black women, how Black men are seeing each other, not just in relationships, but brotherhood, sisterhood, all of that.
That's it. It's gonna start with communication and and willing to listen. Like I said, listen with an understanding and stop just over talking. You know, when somebody try to tell you something, stop trying to just over talk that person, and you know what I'm saying. And because you ain't listening to anything they saying, they be telling you they be give you good advice. You listen to nothing they saying because you instead of trying to over talk them just to get your point out.
Yeah, you know, someone told me I need to start. They asked me why don't I over talk, and I'm like, over talk you. I'm like, that's not communication. My show is supposed to be about communicating with people.
Yeah, listen, let the person get their point out, and then even though sometimes you probably agree to disagree, but as long as you but you heard them, as long as you understand, and you can probably understand where. Oh, okay. Well, I understand why you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I can get why you feel that way, even though I don't agree with it, but I see why. But that doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, that
But that requires that, like you said, that requires that active listening of saying, you know what, I'm not going to listen to try to respond to you. I'm not going to listen to try to beat you. I'm not going to listen. That's debating, you know. Now, if you want to debate, let that be it. Let it be no, hey, I feel like having a debate right now. What you think? But if you want to have a conversation and communicate with someone, your goal is to not debate them. So let them speak and hear what they're saying so that you can resolve something, get to some kind of solution, some ending, you know, as opposed to just being angry, mad, and bitter and frustrated because they not listening to you and you not listening to them, and y'all just, you know, go your separate ways until eventually y'all really do go your separate ways.
Because like they saying, it's so much easier to leave. And guess what? When you leave, you ain't been doing it but take the same mind state to the next relationship. Yeah. And it's gonna be the same thing going over and over again. And so that means no solution getting resolved. And then at the end of the day, when you start looking at it, you probably like, damn, I'm the root of all this.
if you look at it.
You're like, damn,
if you start being real
like,
with yourself.
Man, why ain't nothing never going right? Like, damn, this man.
It's me.
It's me. This person tried to tell me this. This person here tried to tell me this. You carrying that negative energy.
Because it's you. Yeah. So, and while we're talking about this, please tag 3 friends, have a watch party. I do want to thank all our listeners, even if it's on Spotify, iTunes, or whatever. Thank you so much for listening. And I love our participation today. They're going off. So this is a hot topic. Let me see. It says, that's how old school relationships last through thick and thin for so many years. That is true. Yep. And I respect old school relationships so much, except
because they rather work it out, and you know, people just so easy to give up on the next person, and that's why the old school relationship, they willing to sit and work it out and figure out a solution. Even what?
Go ahead. Even what?
Huh?
Even what?
I think you about to say what I'm about to say.
No, I was gonna say I respect old school relationships so much for that, yes, but at the same time, a lot of old school relationships. Well, I don't want to say a lot. Some old school relationships fall into that realm of what I call that dysfunctional. No, this ain't what you stay in. This
because
is not.
That's what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
even with the
no.
Because you're dealing with the infidelities and
exactly,
you know
like no, that's that
that
dysfunctional. Really, like if all they do is cheat on you, just because you stayed through all that cheating, that's not what I'm talking about. Or if all they do is beat up on you and you stayed, nah, I'm not talking about that either. That's I'm not talking about that kind of.
He hit me because he loves me.
Yeah, nah. You know, or he cheats on me, but I know where he coming home to. Girl, leave him where he is. He might be bringing something else home. But anyway, I'm not talking about those kind of relationships. I mean that you know, those that, you know what, ooh, he get on my nerves, or ooh, she works my nerves. They don't do this right, they don't do that right, or you know, those kind of things that you can actually work through if you just, first of all, give people a chance to, you know, be themselves and compromise. That's what I'm saying. Now, some things aren't. Yes, some things are not acceptable. I'm saying,
what's
like,
up, Brock?
Don't look. I don't follow all old school relationships, but they, you know, for the most part,
they rather work things out than
like if stuff got hard. That's what I mean. Like, you know, like if someone was to lose their job, It wasn't you broke now. We gotta go.
Shit,
You know,
I think these days, shit, you goddamn, you ain't. You just
yeah. I'm saying like they were
broke
like,
ass
okay,
nigga, I'm gone.
we're gonna pull this together and figure out a way to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
That's the kind of old school relationships I'm talking about, and look up to and aspire to have one day. Oh, thank you so much. Someone said, love you guys. Y'all killing it. Diamond Lounge coming through with the relevant topics. Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We try. So, but now that I opened the door and let it,
What you finna hit me with? What you finna slap me with?
I just want your perspective on like, what would you moving forward? How about this? I don't even want to focus on past. We gonna move forward.
Oh shit.
What would you do moving forward to change your narrative in relationships? Do you want to be married one day?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do, or what are you doing now to make that a reality as opposed to just something you talk about? Sounds nice.
Yeah. I don't talk about it just sound nice.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But eventually I would want to get there. But like it stemmed from, I guess since by the way my upbringing was, relationships wasn't important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say, of course, yeah, I've been in relationships and all that, but that's why it takes me a while before I get into one, because I make sure, like I say, I always make sure I'm ready, because once I'm in it, I'm in it. I'm not in it just to be like, oh yeah, I got a gal, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in it, I'm in it to looking for longevity, not for the moment, And so, and then it's about, because you don't have to, when you're in a relationship, how you got to compromise, you got to consider somebody's feelings, you know what I'm saying, all that. And so if you ain't there yet mentally, don't even get in a relationship. And so that's how I feel. If I ain't there mentally yet to where I want to just deal with somebody every day.
But I'm talking about, so when you finally do feel like you're there mentally to, okay, I want to deal, how are you going to ensure as much as you can that relationship, endures, through the test of time? What steps would you take for yourself to make it a stronger unit in your household, in your family?
First, like it's communication, and find out the likes and dislikes, with the dislikes really of, what's pisses this person's off, what's push this person's button to not do. Because I know in the day and era, in the era we in now, social media can affect relationships, and so it's about just not doing certain things that that make sure spouse, your significant other look bad. You know what I'm saying? So, it goes with a lot of things. So that's why I say with the social media thing, like even like people know me from posting different wild ass shit, whatever.
Yeah.
I know once I get in that relationship, a lot of that shit I won't be posting. A lot of female people that I probably was dealing with, or that I know like me, or this, that, and the third, they're getting deleted. Because I need to have no ties with nobody that likes me or I like them and all that, whatever.
And no one that's not gonna benefit your relationship.
Huh?
I said no one that's not gonna benefit your
that's
relationship.
not, they do bring trouble.
Like even those, I mean, I'll just say for myself, but even those friends, if you have those friends that would rather see you single, or rather talk down on marriage, or rather encourage you to do something that you're not supposed to be doing, that's also a checking point that you have to make within yourself. Like, is this,
Either that or just knowing when to go home.
I mean, true, but I'm saying this, that check and balances of, that's what I say, of yourself, of knowing, hey, do I want to keep putting myself in that temptation because this person doesn't respect me, my marriage or relationships, or do I have to get to that point where, even though you my friend, you've been my friend a long time, if you can't respect where I'm trying to be at now, my growth, basically, then there is a point to cut you off. Because I think that's another thing that's lacking in our families, or the black families, is not only do we not see that representation, we're not surrounded by it. So since we're not surrounded by it, we don't have the people that are encouraging it or supporting it or saying, hey, work this out, hey, do that, or there's it's not there. So when you don't have that, when you have that person that instead would rather say, oh she tripping right now, or oh, he tripping right now, come do this.
Because really with guys, they don't too much even really talk about their relationships.
It's time to start.
You know, I think so because I know women do. So that's where the difference in between us and y'all is because y'all do get that communication with, you know what I'm saying, with y'all female friends, and you probably have some bitter female friends that tell you, hey, leave his ass alone, and you got some that sit there and tell you, hey, work it out because it's some minor, you know, or whatever. And see, guys, shit, every time we're around each other, it really is a good time. It's not no, hey boy, I'm calling you to tell you, hey, you need to stop doing this. We don't have those conversations.
I mean, in the sense of you don't even have to bring up your relationship to that person, but they know you're in one.
Yeah.
And showing respect to. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about someone that shows respect for your marriage.
Yeah.
Without not about you bringing the problems to them.
You're gonna have to show the respect to your marriage first,
Yeah.
in order for them to even want to respect you to that level. Because
Most definitely.
if you're not respecting your marriage, they're not gonna respect your marriage.
Someone say your shirt looking good. She made your shirt.
Appreciate it, Mac. Y'all get the shirts made, man. Y'all need to go holler at my girl Sharita, man.
Yeah.
She does a good job, you know what I'm saying? She keep your boy looking nice, you know what I'm saying?
Keeps him out his label whorish ways. Thank you.
Black owned business. Black owned business supporting right there.
Work through resolvable issues. Yes. So for me, I would say moving forward. Well, I'm perfect. No.
but like I said, you got to respect your relationship for an order your friends to respect your relationship. Because as long as you show respect towards your relationship, they ain't gonna care either. So that's how you'll end up in situations that you don't supposed to end up in.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying also not just that though. If you haven't been historically in your group known as, okay, when he's with somebody, that's it, he ain't playing no games, you have to change. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to change that narrative so that they know, okay, oh wait, he a different person now.
He always does. Everybody went with, he still cheated on.
Yeah, that's it. If that's what you always been doing, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you have to not just show them that, but you have to change. So, and sometimes it has to be a change that you have to say and show. Like, that's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't play with relationships, man. I ain't gonna say I haven't done it before, but shit. But the hurt that
we moving forward.
But the hurt you bring towards the person that make you be like, nah.
That's what we moving forward.
That's not the way to go.
We're not gonna focus on the past anymore.
Yeah.
So.
About 20 years ago. Past everybody.
Look at you.
Past all future people. A present.
That's the number you want to put on that.
A present person.
All right. Do y'all have any questions or comments out there? Anything y'all wanted to add? Because, like I said, I really wanted to get y'all's input and see how y'all felt about this topic, because it's for the people. So, I can say how I'm doing.
How you doing?
Well, you know, as a single,
say it like Wendy Williams.
As a single black
how you
woman.
Doing?
No, I don't want to say it like her. She gonna say right now. But
she on crack right now too.
I well, she did say that.
See?
But
she's out there. Public records. She's doping.
That came from her, so that's okay.
Doping. Yeah, that's you.
See, stop that. See, that's why it was. As a single black woman, I know for me, I want to get to that point where I am more open to the idea that someone grew up differently than I did. You know, it might take a little bit more patience to, you know, be in a relationship involved with them and be okay with the fact that if they're showing effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they have to be showing that effort.
For you to be patient.
Yes. If they're not showing that effort to say, I am trying to be a better person, or I am trying to do this, or I am doing, you know, these things differently, then yeah, I ain't got the patience. But if they are, work on, you know, saying, hey, you know what? I recognize the effort. I can work with that. Because I feel like that's what we're missing in our marriages now is the effort.
Yeah.
And acknowledging that and working with that. You know, I don't expect someone to be like, change overnight. Like, you were doing all this, you were this way, you were that way, and now it's going to stop. Okay, but show me how you're working to be better.
Yeah, you're right. You know, because if a person was a certain way for so long,
except for if it's cheating. If it's
yeah,
cheating,
I'm not talking about cheating. I'm just talking about like just habits that don't probably work in relationships wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you say, it don't take. A person ain't gonna just change like at the snap of a finger. You know, that shit would take a while for that person to change, to break out those single habits or I like being by myself habits. You know, that shit just don't change overnight.
Oh, I like what Miss Jazz said. We're going to wrap it up on what Miss Jazz says. So she says, I like your point about trying to change your narrative. Sometimes folks in your life not ready to grow. Hold on. Oh, the screen moved. Not ready to grow with you. So when they see you trying to move forward, it's called being fake. Yes, it is. So it's important to be surrounded by folks that can evolve with you, especially when they see you.
Trying.
Yes, better yourself. Very much so.
I never seen that spelled out like that.
Look, because I was like, wait a minute. But
All that you got hood at the end. Trying.
because it's in you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh,
you
man,
guys, it's not about being fake. Be true to yourself, but
funny.
it's the effort of doing better. And everything she said is right about that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to surround yourself with people that want to see you grow and want to evolve with you. You know, I'll gladly take my circle with me if that's where they want to go. But I'll be damned if I stay stagnant because y'all want to stay stagnant.
You know, it's all about growth. Relationship, it's all about growth and moving forward. That person ain't helping you grow.
And y'all can call me bougie or fake if you want to.
And
you know who you are.
And holding you back, then, you know, I'm not saying leave. Talk to that person about, hey, you need to get better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to do this in life. And you
it's not about preaching to people.
You still trying to be right here. You know, I'm just saying, just, you know, communicating with them. And then if they still ain't trying to fix that, once you done said something about it, then, hey, that's the time to move forward.
Jazz appreciates you getting her.
Well, by saying trying?
Yeah.
Shit, I liked it. I'm going to start using that word.
You going to start spelling like that? How'd you spell it?
Trine.
You are. You remember that?
Trying. As soon as I seen it, I knew what it was. And that's my first time seeing it.
Where are we going?
You need to go get that trademark. That we got corner phrase.
Corner phrase.
Coin, a phrase, or whatever you want to say.
Trademark, you right.
Trademark.
Go get a trade.
Trademark. Try.
I tried to do better. Don't start that, Jazz. Anyway, all right. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, follow us on all of our social media platforms, our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, and as well as email us any topics or any responses that you feel was pertinent to this discussion and maybe we missed out on. Email it to us. If you're one of those shy people, because I get a lot of people that kind of DM and say, I'm shy, I don't want to put my face out there. Well, it's fine. Email the topic and I'll put it out there. Okay? And I'll leave your name off. Stuff.
Sexual.
No. Oh. So, and again, our email is diamondloungepodcast@gmail.com. We are the Diamond Lounge on Facebook, and we are Diamond Lounge Podcast on Instagram, and our YouTube is also the Diamond Lounge. And guess what? You know what? I went on and decided after having a discussion with someone very important up here that we are going to go ahead.
Thank you. You told me, right?
No. We're going to go ahead and create a website and try to get all of this, you know, or as many links as we can on that one website. So that will probably cut down or make it easier for y'all to talk to us and for us to talk to you. All right? So, but until then, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all have a great day.
Peace out.